Rita Singh, Group Director, Indirapuram Public School, Ghaziabad. Thank you for accepting the invite, ma'am.
Thank you. It's my honor to be here, and it's a lovely work that Mr. Prasad and I realize it now that you're also attached with, and of course, Rabia has been speaking to us. So, congratulations for the good work that you're doing.
Thank you, ma'am. We have Ms. Geeta Mailwara Bhatla, Advisor, Vibgyor Group of Schools. Thank you for accepting the invite, ma'am.
It's a pleasure to be with you all here this evening and discuss a topic which is very, very, close to my heart. And thanks for that.
Thank you,
Nice
ma'am.
meeting you all on this platform.
Same here, ma'am. Thank you. We have Ms. Rabia Bhatia, who is an educationist, motivator, mentor, HR professional, brand and communications head for organizations and individuals, and she is the moderator for today's session. So with this, Rabia, over to you. Thank you for all your support.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you once again. And I would like to do a warm welcome to all of you, all the entire audience and the eminent speakers. And I am super excited for this 30th episode. I mean, this webinar 4 actually, and the 30th is the day. I was actually waiting for this day because, I was wanting to speak to Dr. Ruby Bakshi. I have been following her for so long, and she's a kind of inspiration to me. The way she's been doing a great work and good work for the society. Believe me, I've been completely, totally inspired by her work actually, and I was so keen to meet Dr. Rita Singh ma'am, Geeta ma'am, and yes, Preeti ma'am and Prasad sir, we have been associated for so long. So now I'll just introduce each one of you, and to start with, Dr. Ruby Bakshi, founder of Ray Academy Swiss. She's an influencer, TEDx speaker, human resource specialist, vice president Global Goodwill Ambassador, chairperson All Ladies League Women Economic Forum, keynote speaker and expert trainer. I really welcome you, Dr. Ruby, for accepting our invite, and thank you for being on this platform with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rabia.
And now I come to Rita Singh ma'am. She's an educationist, an advisor, consultant on school systems, director, IGI India, National Awardee CBSE Teachers Award 2019. Experienced director with a demonstrated history of working in the field of education management, proven capability in establishment of educational institutions from ground up, skilled in e-learning, infrastructure planning and development, staff development, educational leadership, education consulting, team building and teaching. National Awardee of CBSE Teachers Award 2019 in Principals category. Strong professional with a Masters of Business Administration, focused in marketing from Symbiosis Institute of Management Studies, integrated with more than 3 decades of experience in education. Consultant with British Council, Education Quality Foundation of India, OneFood. I really welcome you, ma'am, to be here with us. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you, Rabia. Entirely my pleasure, and look forward to a lot of learning in next 1 hour.
It would be a wonderful session. I'm sure it would be a great session, ma'am. Believe me, for that matter. We all have such seniors with us. You, Dr. Ruby, Geeta ma'am, it will be a blockbuster show actually, I believe so. And with this, I introduce Geeta ma'am, a dynamic leader with 42 years of experience in teaching and administration, specialized in school management, looking for improvising schools in all the areas with valuable insights and inputs of the learning gained through her vast experience. And I really welcome you once again, ma'am. Thank you for accepting our invite. And with this, I would like to also introduce the P Square. I also would like to give an introduction about what is P Square. P Square is a dynamic learning institution committed to the objective of providing continuous education and teaching of mental arithmetic using abacus and Vedic maths for children in the age group of 4 to 16 years. Our training is aimed at developing and enhancing the intelligence of children, leading towards brain development with unique teaching methods, with an experience of over 15 years, having 50 plus centers, 8,000 students, 50 trainers. Our presence is in Mumbai, Thane, Pune, Nasik, Bangalore. We are affiliated with ISO 9001:2015. So this is what the Peace Point is all about. And coming to the topic, not wasting another minute of every one of yours, humor in pedagogy. How haha can lead to aha. So the first question I would like to throw to Dr. Ruby Bakshi. What are the effects of humor on learning? Please share your insightful information to us.
I think each one of us is a kid at heart, we never grow up, So that is something like, when you are in a place where teachers are taking special care and trying to have humor while teaching, automatically learning becomes fun. And I'm one educationist who believes like when you are learning and teaching using tools that makes the whole environment game like, automatically the whole thing is more truthsome and wholesome, and it's a great learning experience for everyone.
Wonderful, ma'am. I absolutely agree to you that the one line which you said, we all are kid at heart, and we need to be that way always. Otherwise, that learning experience, we would not be able to unlearn and learn. Otherwise, if we think that we are matured enough, we are experienced enough, we don't have to learn anything, the learning part goes away, and we all will be like, no, we are perfect, and there is nothing called perfection at all. So we all have to unlearn and learn, and this pandemic has actually has made us understand what is the importance of unlearning and learning new things. So thank you for sharing your guidance and advice with us. So the next question I would like to ask Rita Singh ma'am, is humor a powerful force?
Yes, of course it is a powerful force. Students open up when there is humor in the class, and there's a lot of learning that happens because it excites. Humor excites. It's a natural phenomenon that we all respond to, laughter, and laughter leads to excitement. And when there is excitement, automatically there is curiosity. And curiosity and learning, they go hand in hand. So curious students will be better learners. So definitely it is a very strong force, but it should be used rightly, in the right manner. Then it is very effective. Practically, I have seen that. I was a history teacher, and you know how history is disliked by students. And then we brainstormed. This was way back 25 years ago. And then the 10th graders, they said, it's too boring. So what shall we do about it? Then each one came up with a solution. They said, we'll have some stories, you narrate it as a story, but then facts and figures have to be facts and figures in history. So it cannot be all the time, in a light mood, we cannot take that. So I said, okay. Somebody said, what about jokes? I said, let's do that. I'm not good at jokes. So you all prepare each day in turn. As per your roll numbers, you prepare and come. And then whenever there's a history class, we will have this. Some said we'll have at the beginning, some said at the end, and some. I said, no, let's have it at the beginning. In between, it interrupts, so let's have it in the beginning. So it created a totally different atmosphere. So practically I have seen that. So I'm sure it is, helpful. It will be helpful to all the teachers to include some humor and laughter in the class.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was really good piece of information. I come back to you. Now my next question goes to Rita ma'am. Rita ma'am, as Geeta ma'am just said, laughter is when we do something with respect to the laughter is an excitement, it creates an excitement, and then it creates a curiosity. I would like to ask you, can you please explain these things, how it is connected and how it is correlated?
I totally agree with what Ms. Geeta has mentioned. See, what exactly is humor? I think it's the unusual association. I take humor as a very unusual association. It's a randomness of the act that happens and that catches your attention. Whenever a child tries to learn, whenever you're trying to teach something to a child, if that child cannot link it with any association, that child cannot learn it, or at least that session will not be enjoyable for a long time. So if a child has to learn it for 15 years and then graduation and all those so many years that he has to spend, we are still learning. There's a lifelong learning. So what I'm trying to say is, in case there is no association that child connects with, he doesn't feel that does not feel that association, there's absolutely no learning happening. So humor is one thing which brings in that unusual association. When this unusual association comes into it, it is it's not just fun. I'm looking at it a little differently. I'm looking at it as, there is something like unconscious association that helps us approach it with a total different, any topic totally differently, right? If there is no connectedness, you don't really understand. So I look at humor as building that unusual association, which helps a child learn instantly and stay connected. And very rightly, what Geeta ma'am also mentioned, that the interest of the child remains there. So you look forward to those classes and you look forward to, and I actually I grant this association very closely to the creativity, because creativity also, I take it as a random association or a very different association or a different linkages. So if a person who is good at humor or has got a great sense of humor, I take that person as a very intelligent person, because then with the humor that teacher or whoever is there who you're trying to build association with and eventually learn from, you're trying to connect it with the unusual association. That unusual association brings in the linkages and hence advances the creativity. And when the creativity comes in, it gives, I would say, creativity is unusual connections. However, the critical thinking is unusual solutions. So how do those those solutions come out? Those solutions come out of all these associations that you build up. It's basically the entire unusual association. They take shape, and it's like a big jigsaw puzzle which fits into place, and there the solution is. So it is definitely totally connected. This is how I see the humor as.
Okay, I have a lot of questions popping up in my mind, ma'am. Now you said that humor is also connected to creativity and, you said the creative thinking, critical thinking. Now, could you please throw some light on this as is how it is connected to critical thinking and creativity as well?
See, a root of creativity is randomness. This is what I take it as. Creativity has to be some random thought generates into your mind. And of course, it has there is some precursor knowledge on which it is based, right? So if there's a precursor knowledge which results into certain other thoughts building up or some connectedness that is building up within your mind, and there you come up with the some random solution, if I have to call it, or a random thought or a very creative idea, which when I say creative, we generally grant creative word to something that has come out as an original. So sometimes it is not just it could be for old ideas, which have taken different kind of permutation and combination and given out a totally different solution. So new solution out of the same old situation can also be creativity. So for example, mobile has always been there, laptop has always been there, and the camera has always been there. Here we see those teachers trying to use the combination of these gadgets. I saw a picture in LinkedIn where there was something put up on the camera and the CD, and it was double lateral inversions were resulting into, like, whenever, if I try to, suppose I try to show you a paper, and if I try to show my work to a teacher, what happens? The teacher is not able to see it, or it gets laterally inverted. As a result, I'm not able to read what the child has written, or I'm not able to show my writing to the child. So there is this teacher who would come up with a very creative way of using the same combination, using the same equipment, a different combination, resulting in one mobile, one CD, one laptop, giving a very beautiful camera and a learning platform. So you got to have that random thoughts coming into your mind to be able to create something nice out of it. So yes, and why critical thinking? Like I said, critical thinking is finding solutions, problem solving, right? I equate critical thinking with problem solving, and I attribute creativity to that random association. So that random association and multiple association connecting and resulting into something new is what I see it as critical thinking. So that's the connection probably.
And this creates a humor, right? This creates a humor, exactly, right? So in turn, it is creating a humor. Absolutely, ma'am. Wow, very well explained. Thank you so much, Rita ma'am. And I'll come back to you soon. I now have a question for Dr. Ruby once again. So ma'am, Dr. Ruby, can humor encourage an atmosphere of openness, develop students' divergent thinking, improve their retention of the presented materials, and garner respect for the teacher? What do you have to say about this?
Absolutely. When you are having a relaxed situation, automatically it makes people a bit more comfortable and they're able to open up. And if you are creating an environment where it is just you are a teacher and the other person is a student, it's teacher taught student relationship, they will take their own time, especially here when we have international students from almost 50 different countries studying. We have to see each and every student how he or she is. And I deliberately use a lot of gamification in my classrooms. I teach in higher education, so I'm teaching students in master's, bachelor's, and doctorate level. And sometimes, some are so young and so timid that they take their own time to open up, and they never answer. And there's some, like if you see Europeans, they're very, fast forward. They will start, even if you say, what is M of management? They will start talking. They'll start exploring everything and anything. But there may or may not be complete substance to it. Whereas people from Asian countries, they have a lot of substance, but they are shy. They're not able to open up. So under those circumstances, if you get humor in the classroom, be it using any game-like situation, again, coming back, or creating simulations, like I teach HR, right? I teach conflict management, training and development courses like this. So when I'm teaching conflict, instead of giving a case study, which used to be when I was doing my MBA, so, you give a case study, everyone is reading that case study, which could be boring, sometimes 3 to 4 pages and sometimes 10 pages. So what I do is I give them in advance. Instead of reading the case study and analyzing, I tell them to do role playing. So if there is a manager, if there is an employee, each student takes up the role and they play it out, So even if the person is shy, he or she is not willing to participate, he is forced to participate in a willing manner. It's not like force that, oh my God, I have to do it, in a willing manner, so everyone is excited. So it's very important for us educators to create that excitement in the classroom. And that only happens when, as Ms. Rita just said, when you create using these gadgets something fun, people like it. So like in my classrooms, I take pictures of the students when they're giving presentations, or when they've done something awesome, something great, I give them a lot of case studies, a lot of projects, impromptu projects. So if I'm teaching 2 hours, 1 hour, like I would say 45 minutes is teaching, co-teaching, then a break. And then I tell them to do something practical. So the content that we learned during those 45 minutes, thereafter, I tell them to create something that is from that particular study that they just did, something practical. So it's not basically memorizing. It's not basically learning the theory. which would be in the case of history and geography, which I agree. So they are actually implementing it. So they're very excited, so it's very important to create the excitement, create the humor, so that even if a kid is not willing to participate, he or she enjoys it. So that's the reason for my classes, I have very little absenteeism, because they're looking forward to it. Then I use a lot of interactive tools, like Kahoot is one platform that I think I'm going to be a brand ambassador for this, because I'm talking about it practically at all forums. So Kahoot is one particular learning platform that I use. And that also is getting a lot of humor, because every time I'm using, it's an interactive quiz where everyone is doing the quiz at the same time, watching, online. So I keep on changing the music. Sometimes there is disco, sometimes there is jungle, depending on what is the topic. So that is, I don't have to do it, if you look at it. But we as educators should be changing the roles all the time. Sometimes we are the game master, sometimes we are, the teacher, the mentor, the elder sister or brother. That's very important. And when you bring humor, it adds on, like just as an Indian khana, you add the spices, So in teaching, we add these spices by getting humor in the classroom, where each kid is in a safe learning environment and enjoys it. He or she is not feeling burdened. Oh my God, we have to go to the HR class. But he or she is like, yuppie, we have to go to the HR class because there's something new coming up. So I guess it will be better, when we are adding most of the times humor, different gadgets to make it fun and interesting, wherein students enjoy the learning process. Even though these days they are in front, like where we are having virtual learning environment, in some places because of COVID-19. So instead of sitting in front and breaking your eyes and breaking your backs in front of the screens, give them self-paced learning. Again, we are getting humor, so when they are revising things like in history or in geography. So if you're giving them quizzes where you see, dheere dheere kachua chal raha hai ya rabbit chal raha hai, so you're showing those simulations on the side. When kids see that, they enjoy it. When I say kids, I mean the students. When they see it, they enjoy. So it's bringing them the smile. And at the same time, it is learning also. So learning is also taking place without them realizing that they're studying at the same time.
I was waiting for this actually, because I've heard from you in one of another session also that you use these kind of tools a lot for the teaching purpose, and you have a very fun learning atmosphere in the class, wherein the students are eagerly coming. They have, they actually look forward towards your class to take your class basically. So I have heard one of your sessions, and it was really helpful for me as an educator to create that kind of atmosphere, because I am associated with NGO and I teach those kids. I'm a spoken English trainer, British Council certified, and also I have worked with government schools where I have used these kind of tools basically, wherein the group projects, the group-based learning, as well as the role-play learning, they've actually played a major role. And the kids were actually happily participating, whether it was a backbencher or a frontbencher, but everybody was enthusiastically participating. And with this, Dr. Ruby, I would be coming back to you soon with the, we need some more information. How did you use these kind of tools during this pandemic? Because everybody has got so stressed out, and especially the students with this virtual learning. So now I'll be taking the break from you, and now I'll be looking forward towards Geeta ma'am once again with my another question. So Geeta ma'am, another question comes up to you. Laughter isn't just the best medicine. It's a valuable teaching tool as well. We have already spoken a lot about it, but still we are looking forward towards some more explanation for our teachers, for our educators, so that they can use the same tools in their classes as well. So Geeta ma'am, please share your
can you please repeat that? I wasn't able to.
Laughter isn't, no problem. So laughter isn't just the best medicine. It's a valuable teaching tool as well. So you need to explain to us how. Some more explanation towards the same.
Humor or laughter is a great leveler. As Dr. Ruby said, there are different types of students in a class. So there are the smart ones who are always would like to, overtake the ones who are not so confident. So laughter and bringing some kind of, humor into the class will help the students in bringing some equality. There will be an equality when the teacher tries to balance that with some kind of a humor. So this will give an equal opportunity to all the students to learn whatever the concept is being taught. Added to this, teachers would, they have to be very quick and quick-witted. Of course, everybody is not quick-witted, but there is hope in cultivating it and preparing for the class so that the teacher should know at the right moment where to add on, because she knows the lesson and where it could be stressful, which could create problem. So these areas, since she's already aware, should be prepared for that. And like simple thing I will tell you, it should be related, of course. Now, when you are giving away the answer sheets and all have not performed as you expected, but you cannot put them down. So the teacher has to create an atmosphere, like, she can general statement say that I have become a fan of all of you. Some of you have written such great answers, and mind you, not the ceiling fan. I hope you all understand what fan means. So this kind of light-hearted jokes and light-hearted will ease the situation. Students who are under stress and tension and what will be my performance and what is the teacher going to comment on my performance, this will ease the situation. So that is how a teacher has to tackle with simple things, need not go into a complicated joke and then try to memorize, not required, but simple things like this will add on to the value. Yeah, that is how a teacher has to prepare for her lesson.
Very well, ma'am, the way you said and the way you are talking, it actually creates a very light atmosphere. I mean, maybe a kind of workshop we are in, or a student might be taking to these kind of workshop. The kind of light talks you are doing, we are also, we are so feeling light-hearted and happy, motivated already, believe me, for that matter. And the way you said, not a ceiling fan in between, that was obviously the class will become more humorous and the session become very interactive. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Very well shared. Very well shared. And so now, ma'am, I'll come back to you. And now I'll throw a next question to Rita, ma'am. Ma'am, the question for you is, humor must be specific to what you are teaching and targeted to enhance learning. Can you please explain?
Yeah, totally this. And also, I mean, if it is resulting in enhanced learning, understood, it is a very good teaching tool. So in a way, it's the same question as what Geeta ma'am tried to answer. Very without any doubt, what Geeta ma'am just tried to mention, that it kind of enlivens the entire atmosphere. Students feel excited, and being excitement is a very important part of curiosity. So if there is no curiosity being generated, or the excitement resulting curiosity, curiosity, which happens to be the most significant part of learning, I would say. If all these things are not there, definitely there won't be any learning. So very rightly said by Geeta ma'am. Secondly, it keeps students engaged. It keeps students interested. And when we are laughing together, when we are sharing those kind of excited moments together, instantly there is a community that builds up. That sense of belongingness, that we keep saying develop a rapport with your students. This is the best tool to develop rapport. That is what is also called not just a teaching tool, it is also a social tool. So come back to, we'll describe the social tool aspect differently later, but social tool, teaching tool, why? Because the entire community builds up, and on the spot you have these children who feel belonged to you. And thirdly, when you're creating jokes, for example, on your own mistakes, if you have ability to laugh at your own mistakes, it's a very, students see you as a very humble person, very real person. They kind of feel that, this teacher is it's kind of one of them. I mean, she's like us. I mean, rather than that distant person and who's trying to be preachy and trying to actually put up a front and things like that. So that instant connection comes. So I think if when the teacher is seen as a person too, it is an instant win-win situation for everybody. And like I said, it creates community, and it breaks all the barriers. And if you look at the times of your own times of school or whatever, which good memories that come back to you? They're all which are and when these kind of memories or the happy moments that come back to you, I think it's a kind of it's a creation of common psychological bond. I mean, it like I said, it results in a better rapport, and which is very important in a teaching learning the sessions that we have. And if you look at these humor can also be like a if you look at, how do I say, when you see teacher as a somebody who's a distant person, if you look at the grand scheme of things, I mean, bigger learning atmosphere, it seems like it's like a stressor. I mean, having not a person who you can be connected, it's like a stressor. So it is a stress buster. So human in the thing, and I think the ability to laugh at yourself teaches so many good lessons to the students. It's like you don't have to take yourself so seriously all the time. And so I see it as a great tool because, like I said in the first time that I spoke, that it brings in critical thinking and problem solving, curiosity, creativity, and of course, all these aspects. I'd see it as a wonderful atmosphere it gives it, where the enhancement of learning happens.
Absolutely, ma'am. Very well said. Very well explained. Actually, the more you get, the rapport is very important with your mentor. We as teachers, we should not act as teachers. Actually, we should act as a mentor. We should be one of their students, so that they should feel that connect, that bond actually. And this is how the student will open up, and they'll be able to come out of their shell actually. And obviously, once they will come out of their shell, they'll be able to learn more, they'll be able to grow, and the class will become more interactive, and every student will be able to learn more. Absolutely, ma'am. Very well explained. Thank you so much. So now I go back to Dr. Ruby Bakshi. I have a question cropping up in my mind, ma'am. So, Dr. Ruby, as we all know that humor is important in the class. Humor during this pandemic, we are all so stressed out that humor is a very important tool to make our sessions interactive and fun-loving. So I would like to understand, when we have a humorous class, when we have a class full of fun, does it actually encourage the students, and how it encourages the student, how the students is encouraged, and in turn how the educator or the facilitator or a mentor is motivated to take more sessions or teach more and feel enthusiastic about it. So could you please, because I know you have been taking sessions, I know the kind of enthusiasm, I can see that enthusiasm in you. So I would like to share, I want you to share your experience with all of us so that we can also learn something from you.
That's a very good question, Rabia. And that in fact is the theme of our topic today, the session today, how to convert haha to aha. So we need to create aha moments. And that is only possible, by understanding your audience first. So if you're talking about, like students here, like if I'm talking about adults, my students are adults, but depending wherever you are, first you as an educator need to understand who the audience is, what is their level. Sometimes I have seen, I remember as a kid, sometimes we would have teachers who would use very difficult words in the class and we would not understand. हम लोग सोचते हैं वाओ ये तो बड़े हाई फाई टीचर है, कुछ समझ ही नहीं आ रहा है, like that. So it's very important. It's good to use good vocabulary, but at the same time, it should be understandable by the audience. That is number one, rule number one. Second, yes, if you are using the tools, that is what Geeta ji just mentioned, aap kahan usko use kar rahe ho, that is important. Not that it has to be all by haha wala class, because if it's all haha and there is no value, there is no substance, of course, students will not understand and learn anything. Our motive is to make that haha and aha together. The conversion, the transition should be there. If there's no transition, no conversion, then it's not a substance class. And that's very important. आप जो भी theory use कर रहे हो, आप जो भी applications use कर रहे हो, it should be in line with your class. It should be in line with the subject that you are teaching. And as I said, if I'm teaching human resources, it's a very dry, it's a very boring subject, because it has a lot of theories, lot of analysis. It's not like finance, jahan par aapne kiya aur aapko answer mil gaya. It's not. So if you are teaching something like that, if I was just talking about theories, it could be something which is just listening. Students are listening, but they're doing passive listening. They are there sitting and shaking their heads, but andar kuch nahi ja raha hai. Ek kaan se sun rahe, dusre kaan se nikal raha hai. But if you are doing something which is like a game, or if you put them on the spot, जैसे अगर अभी मैं कुछ पूछूं, Preeti, can you tell me this? So Preeti is like on an alert. Oh my God, she's going to ask me. Or Mr. Prasad, आपने कुछ इतनी देर से नहीं बोला. Could you answer this? So you are like, oh my God, she's answering everyone. So everyone is on alert and listening actively. So that's very important as an educator, that we should not be just focusing on the front benchers, because this is very common. जो लोग बहुत बोलते हैं क्लास में, या those who are I would say active performers, people just pay attention on them. But if you are having some game like situations, what I'm saying like haha के लिए भी आपको देखना है कि सब लोग असल में हंस रहे हैं या they are just laughing for the heck of it. Because sometimes when you see you are busy in your phone or you're busy in your activity, but when you see everyone is laughing, अरे सब हंस रहे हैं, हंसो, so people start laughing. We are not in a yoga class, guys. We are in a class where we are discussing some substance. We are in academic situation. So it is important, आप जो भी बात कर रहे हो, देखो कि हर कोई सुन रहा है, और जो सबसे नॉटी लग रहा है या जो सबसे ज्यादा डिस्ट्रैक्टेड लग रहा है, इट्स नॉर्मल, you as educators will know कौन होके भी वहां पर नहीं है. So make sure you put that person in spotlight, from time to time you put that person in spotlight. So like this, your aha and haha will keep on going together. But it's very important, जो आप टूल्स यूज कर रहे हो, जो आप एप्लीकेशंस यूज कर रहे हो, या जो आप एक्टिविटी यूज कर रहे हो in the classroom, it should definitely go with what you are teaching. You should not be just getting something for the heck of getting, not just because, okay, Miss Ruby told us to get Kahoot in the class and it has nothing to do with Kahoot, but still you're using that. Of course, it's not going to be as impactful. So to create an impact and to make the sessions meaningful, कि जब बच्चा निकले तो उसके दिमाग में है कुछ, he is not just empty head leaving the room, make sure you as an educator should also work hard on it. Not that जो आपके बस courses बने हुए हैं, modules बने हुए हैं, आप year by year वही use कर रहे हो. No, you have to do away with it, because then it's not quality teaching or learning, because if teaching is good, learning will definitely be good. That is like आप जितना इनपुट दोगे, अगर आप इनपुट अच्छी तरह से कर रहे हो, खूब कस के मेहनत कर रहे हो, तो आउटपुट भी अच्छा ही आएगा. That is what I believe, and that's what I focus on, and that's what I work on consistently. And I'm very thankful, my students also see the hard work that I'm putting in. Haha to aha dono hota hai. But the thing is, there's a lot of hard work behind it. When I'm making these quizzes, I make my own quizzes. So when I'm making these quizzes, the students also see कि she is spending 2 hours of the time. Maybe the quiz is just 10 minutes. Maybe the quiz is just 15 minutes. But I am putting 2 hours of my time to that, So same as if every educator does that. Believe me, guys, चाहे India हो या America हो या जो भी country हो, studies बहुत अच्छे होंगे and बच्चा बहुत अच्छा करेगा. But both it has to be a double double-sided mehnat, not कि एक बंदा लगा हुआ है और उसी तरह से कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. So make sure it should be in line, number one, and know your audience. Don't just throw an activity to them without them realizing. It's very important as a game. जैसे आप game master, जैसे मैंने बोला, we as educators need to change the roles. So if you are the game master, make sure that rules of the game are understood by everyone. So if we are playing and I'm not taking into consideration what Rabia is thinking, but I just say, okay, guys, are you ready? We start. And boof, I start. Maybe Rabia didn't understand, rest. Mr. Prasad is like happy that, okay, I'm going to be the first one. I understood everything. That's not it. We have to take everyone as a team, as one unit in the classroom, not having any bias or not having any favorites. And then you will see the result will be definitely good because we are working together. हम सबको साथ लेके चल रहे हैं, खाली front benchers को नहीं या back benchers को भूल नहीं रहे, हम सबको साथ लेके चल रहे हैं. So automatically if we work as a good team, productivity तो आनी ही आनी है. There's no way that it won't come, but just go for it. You just have to work together and leave the rest, and then we just see how it goes.
Absolutely, Dr. Ruby. The way you say that nobody can grow in isolation.
Mm-hmm.
We have to grow together. Together we win, actually. And I think this lockdown, we have learned a lot at how each one of the lives is important, and every student, every teacher, every staff is precious. Without a teacher or without a single student, the schools, buildings cannot grow, the schools cannot grow, basically. So
Very
everybody
true.
has to work together towards, we have to overcome this situation, and we'll be all together. Till we are not together, one person cannot grow alone, basically. So very well said. Thank you once again for sharing a beautiful information with all of us, and your experience also. And I hope I can come back to you with one more question soon. So now I go back to Geeta ma'am. So Geeta ma'am, now I just got a question when Dr. Ruby was saying something regarding yoga, meditation, which is now a part of our NEP policy as well, NEP 2020. How are we going to make our classes humorous when it comes to meditation? So we ha to aha moment if the meditation curriculum is involved with us. So please explain that too. Ma'am, kindly unmute it. Yeah.
Yeah, right now,
Yes, sir.
under the situation now that the teachers are getting used to the virtual classes.
Right.
So practically, there isn't much of laughter in the classes because it's a transition and teachers are getting used to teaching on the virtual platform. It has steadied now almost, and this is the time when the teachers have to make it livelier and add laughter, and also when they are already, some of them are doing it, and it is already enhancing the classes because I'm literally watching the teachers doing the classes. On an average 6 to 7 teachers, I observe them every day, and we have a huge bank of teachers, and then I keep and immediately giving them the feedback as how they can improve upon. So in this context, I would definitely tell them that, you make it a little more humorous. And because the situation is such, children are serious, parents are serious, everybody is serious. So this will help in the learning process. Not at the same time, the focus, of course, is learning, and that cannot be shifted. But how you handle it is what is important. So learning has to go on, but with enhancement and additional support of such tools, they can be more effective. This is what I would tell the teachers. It just, as Dr. Ruby said, it needs a little bit of hard work, preparation, and okay, today let me put, add these two small things. They can start step by step, start, just with one small joke or an anecdote connected to the subject. They cannot move away from the topic, and this will help them, and they have to see themselves in a better light, saying that, yes, we can do this, so that our lessons are effective. So this direction we need to move on to.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Geeta ma'am, for sharing this piece of information. Again, it was very well explained, and I'm sure our educators are going to get benefit out of it. So I really would like to thank you, and if there would be a time, I will again throw a question to you. So now I go back to Rita ma'am. So Rita ma'am, I have a question for you. Would you please guide us how the teachers or how as educators can we feel always enthusiastic and always at the forefront to take classes at any given point of time, and still feel laughing in front of the camera, making our class lively, when we at the back of but at the back we are already so tired or restless because we are actually working for home and working from home, all of us. So how as educators, how as teachers can we always be lively at the time of virtual classes? Please share your guidance for us.
Situation number one, handling the domestic front.
Yes.
Please share the responsibilities with everybody who's at home, whether it's a 2-year-old kid or it is an 80-year-old mother-in-law. Be very, very clear in the sharing of responsibilities, because all those houses which had shared responsibilities are not really feeling the brunt. Only those houses are right now stressed out or having all these kind of issues where you're not feeling settled at the domestic front, you're having these issues. So bring down the reasons which are stressors. So whether if they're from domestic front, you got to, number one. Number two, if you are in a teaching job for money, let the COVID situation go out, and then please pick up another job, because right now I will not advise you to switch over your job because there are no jobs in the market. But the fact is, if you're feeling stressed out teaching students, that means the job is not yours. It was never meant to be. So identify your strengths and weaknesses. Go for your strength. If it is not passion that you're following, drop it. Teaching is something which has to be, it doubles up with energy if you feel the energy. If you are not really enjoying the job, that energy can be detrimental, it will be negative. You'll not really enjoy, rather you will be passing it on to the next generation. So this is one situation. Coming back to, I think Geeta ma'am mentioned that everybody cannot be, you should crack jokes and you should make the environment lively. But the thing is, everybody cannot really do that. Very rightly said, ma'am, but then it is said, even if, of course, if you're naturally humorous, it's very nice. But even if you're not naturally humorous, even then it is said that you plan your lessons like it was said. Your classes should look very impromptu. It should look straight from the heart. The delivery should be as such. But the fact is, back home, your homework should be so solid. Your preparedness should be so ready. And your, even if you have decided to crack a joke, rehearse that. I would say bring in drama, bring in dance, bring in hand, body gestures. Body language should be very, very enthusiastic. And it cannot be built up all the time. So
we within, if I'm not mistaken.
Inherited, so you should be enjoying what you're doing. So it is choosing your right profession. And once you're into that profession, choosing right preparation level for your lessons, all this will result into I was just reading Mr. Kaustav Chakravarti has been very beautifully putting up these questions, and he's really talking about humor at a deeper level. He's not just talking humor for the sake of making your classes interesting. He's wanting us to talk about humor as real teaching tool. And the kind of question that he's put up is beautiful. And like I mentioned the last time, that using it as a social tool, this is what Mr. Kaustav also tries to ask. He says that does it contribute to deep learning rather than surface learning? Definitely. In my previous discussion, I mentioned how to set up a right atmosphere or bring in a right environment for the sake of learning. Like we all talked about having a right moment so that children can reach that aha moment and things like that. But then what kind of jokes do we crack? What kind of humor do we do our jokes have cultural context? Have we checked up on that? It's very important to check the cultural context, because if you bring in the right cultural context, it can be a learning experience. It can actually result into deeper learning of that concept that we are trying to teach. Is there a vulgarity or is it a humor? I mean, are we depending on the vulgarity to create humor? That we all have to understand. We all have to be very, very mindful of the fact that we give a glimpse of good humor. That is very, very important. Otherwise, the kind of humor that we all see in our serials and in the kind of jokes that we're cracking, or the kind of there has to be a subtlety in the humor, and what you're cracking, what you're talking, like Dr. Ruby also tried to say, it has to be connected with eventual deeper learning. So till we do, that is why planning on this joke is very, very important, and what you'll use in your delivery is extremely important. So this is what I had to say.
Very well. Excellently explained and very nicely explained. Yes, that passionate, the passion in the educators has to be always there. Otherwise, we would not have been able to cross this milestone also. So that passion comes from within. Nobody can force you to become passionate or to become, lively or enthusiastic. For me, ma'am, I've been from the corporate background, and it's been 6 years that I'm associated with the education sector. For me, I think the passion, that feeling from within, is very much required for each and every kind of profession you are in, whether it is a teaching profession or whether you are into administration or whether you are handling the HR. The passion has to be there. Only then you'll be able to, actually justify what you are doing. Please.
But Rabia, I'll say something here.
Yes, ma'am.
In the jobs which are connected with factories or offices or automation, or where you're not really playing with human minds, you can still let one part which you were producing in a factory go wrong. Okay, your quality control throws away 5 nut bolts or 5 machines or 1 car out. It's fine. But in the kind of profession that we are, we can't afford to do that. Even one child is important. Every child is important. That's why little more passion, when I say little more concentrated effort into our acts, have to be very, very important. That is what
I very much agree. These are the children are the future of our nation, and we can't play with the lives of our children. I completely agree. Thank you so much. Very beautifully explained, Dr. Rita ma'am. So over to Dr. Ruby Bakshi. I think we are just trying to wrap up the session. But before we proceed, before we try to end up the session, I think Dr. Ruby Bakshi has answered all the questions, whatever there were in the chat box. And I really thank you, Dr. Ruby Bakshi. I really want to thank her. And I have a lot of gratitude for this kind of, enthusiasm to answer all the questions while at the time of session only. It is again because of the passion. It is all because of the passion she has in her. So, and I would like to thank each one of you. But before we close the session, I would like to request Prasad sir. He would like to share a brief, presentation about the P Square, which will help all the schools and the educators. So may I request Prasad sir to come in forefront and share the presentation with all of us.
Thanks a lot, Rabia. Totally engrossed in what was happening. So we actually forgot that the presentation was to be done. Yeah. So very nice. Really enjoyed with what everybody was saying and talking about. Yeah. So before we end the session, a small thing that I would like to just share about what we have been doing for all this time with in our organization. Yeah. I just share this slide.
But sir, we are not going to end the session after
No, we are
your
not ending.
presentation.
Absolutely,
Yeah, so
absolutely.
we're not ending. I have something important for all the speakers,
Yes,
for all my panelists.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, so here we go.
So basically, we in P Square we have state level, we have national level, a Bakers and Vedic Maths events. We have written examinations for the students.
Okay. Yes, sir. What's happening? I cannot.
So are we done with the presentation, sir? So you're I'm so sorry, all. I guess there's some kind of connectivity or network issues. So please bear with us. I think some technical glitches are there. So Prasad sir is trying to sort it out.
Okay. I don't know. I think there's some problem. Can you hear me?
All right, sir. So
Yes, we can hear you.
yes, sir.
I think
Yes,
there's
we
some
can.
problem. So you could take over, Ravi. You could just go ahead.
All right, sure, sir. No problems, no problems.
Yeah.
Apologize for regret the inconvenience with all of you.
Yeah, even
And now, I mean, so not an issue, sir. Not an issue at all. So now, I mean, as the presentation we went the presentation, but half of the presentation we could complete.
Yeah.
Now we could come back. We can come back to the session. Almost all questions are over, but yes, I would request all of the panelists to share one message with the entire audience with respect to this haha moment to aha. A small brief message related to it could relate to your own experience. It could relate to a guidance for a teach for educators or your students. So one particular message. So Dr. Ruby Bakshi, over to you. Please share one message. Haha to aha.
Haha to aha is something that we all should pay attention to. And as I said, we should pay attention to our audience, understand the audience first before, just going and starting your conversation or starting your session. I'd just like to share one incident that happened with me personally. I was supposed to go and lead a session on youth leadership in United Nations, Geneva. And because the session was on youth leadership, so I prepared my my seminar, or I would say workshop, in that manner. When I'm in the seminar, I'm seeing, like, I don't see any young people here, because in my mind I'm thinking it's youth leadership. And when I'm there, I see all these very important persons from from the royal families, from the government, from the ministry, and things like that. So I was like, calm down, calm down. This is your audience, okay? So you need to change. You are the presenter. Even though it says youth leadership, okay, they are the youth. They are the people who are going to decide. They are the deciding people. So just go with the flow. I had to change the examples, because it was youth leadership. How are you going to lead the youth so that they do the needful? So I thought about talking about how they can create impact, how they can follow influencers and things like that. And I was going to talk about social media. But when I saw them, I thought, like, I better not use those terms, because certain things are completely banned in those countries. So I had just, I would say, half an hour. And in that half an hour, I changed what I was supposed to speak. I changed my examples. I changed my, the things that I was supposed to talk, because I thought, if I'm speaking that to them, it's not going to go across. So it's very important to convert your haha. They would be laughing over me, and there would not be any haha, aha moment. So it's important, again, know your audience and try to inculcate the things that go with the situation. That's a must. Just the fact that you're speaking at such a prestigious place is great. But it's not enough. You as an educator or you as a trainer need to prepare it much, much in advance. So as Ms. Rita was telling, we are playing the roles of the teacher. We need to play the role of the mentor. And these days we are even playing role of the camera person, like as an artist, because sometimes I have students, 20 students in the class and 20 students on VLE, on Zoom. Okay. So I'm like, hi guys, how are you? And then good morning class, so I'm in one place, I'm acting like a serious person in front, wearing the uniform in the classroom. And on the other side, I'm seeing some people are just getting up, or some are like this, and telling them to wake up, but using a different technique. So we are playing all the roles. So it is only up to us as educators how we change these roles. We are in the same place, same time, but keep on switching the hats. We have to keep on playing that game of switching the hats. The more you are doing that consistently and in line with what is going on, the more you will be successful and you will have more aha moment. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Basically, we're also doing a content writer's job, isn't it?
Exactly. Exactly. Very true.
So, yes, so we are like jack of all and masters of all now. Not master of none. We cannot use that phrase anymore.
I think Rabia, COVID has made us all dance on the tunes. Certain things which were supposed to be done in the future, but we were not doing it. It's the situation, COVID, even though it's bad, even though it's really very challenging, but it has made us dance on the tunes. What would have happened 5 years from now? It is happening now, even though it's happening by force. We are getting trainings, but we are all doing it because we need to adapt. We can't just sit and brood over it ki ho gaya. Kuch na kuch to karna hi hai.
Option. We have no other choice. We have no other option.
Exactly. Very true. Very true.
We have to get adapted to this kind of situation and the environment.
Exactly.
So basically, educators, as Mr. Kaustav said, that don't be a teacher, be in edu warriors or educational rock stars. So we already are rock stars and we are warriors basically. We have crossed a huge milestone till now, and whatever is left, we'll pass this problem as well. We'll pass this as well. We'll overcome this. Thank you, Dr. Ruby. Very nicely explained, and the kind of example you have shared, actually, it has, it has motivated all of us. I think I have got motivated a lot, because changing the content at the end of the, session, at the time of the session, when you are just about to talk, it's actually, something very inspirational. Thank you very much. Thank you once again. So I request Geeta ma'am also to share her message with all of us. Haha to aha moment. How we can create one message. Geeta ma'am?
Yes. I was basically an English teacher, and always, English grammar, sometimes it's very difficult for the children to understand. And especially this practice, when to use C and when to use S. It was a lot of confusion for children, and they would make a lot of mistakes. So in the class, a student asked me, and how to do this. So I just remembered the way my teacher had taught, and I applied the same thing here. My teacher, when we had asked this question, she said, okay, you all repeat what I say. She said, do you like, those days no ice creams. In my school days, it was Cadbury chocolate, okay? Do you like Cadbury chocolates? We said, yes, we like. Yes, we like. So she asked, do you like to dance? Yes, we like. Do you like to go to sports class? Yes, we like. So this S, we, yes, we. So then she said, remember this, S and we. S is used when you're using it as a verb. C is used when you're using it as a noun. So this was such a lesson to all of us, which I have not forgotten till today. And I wanted the same thing for my students, and I made them do the same exercise as she had done. And that was the moment. And believe me, some of them still remember this exercise that I had done with them. So this was the moment, aha moment for me.
Obviously, ma'am. Superb exercise. Actually, it's a superb exercise. Superb haha to aha moment. Actual, actual example. Very well.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing this example again, ma'am. Thank you once again. And Rita, ma'am. So, may I request you to please share your message with all of us?
No message, just a narration of an anecdote. Listening to Dr. Ruby reminded me of my graduation first year. That was a time when I used to do debates, but we used to have those debates when you had your written content and you went there and you spoke for or against, and you had your prepared speeches, right? And till then was a time when my father used to write my speeches for me. So I remember there was this English debate competition, and I was probably 7th speaker out of 8, and I did not really know whether people will still be listening to me when I'll be at the 7th place. And that was it. I remember this. I was sitting and listening to the first speaker. First went by, second went by, and the third one was speaking exactly my script. That was when I was shaken and I realized, oh my God, what is this? And there was no mobile to call up your father and say, what have you got me into? So I was totally flustered and didn't know. I had just the time to write something for myself from 3rd speaker to the 6th because I was supposed to be the 7th. And on the spot, I must have cooked up something. And of course, that was a topic that I well understood. Being in graduation first year, I wasn't a baby. Yet you get used to some written material because your father is willing to do it for you. And I wrote something, and then I went up ahead, and my opening sentence was what I'm telling you. I said, this is what it is. Here I am, judges, etc. The fact is, I am going to say whatever I've taken down just now and learned from the eminent competitors of the debate. And that little humor in the very beginning and telling your story, opening your heart or your situation, letting out your situation to everybody, it took away my 30 seconds of speaking time, but that 30 seconds added to the attention of all the audience and the judges, of course. And yes, I was a prize winner in that debate. So that haha moment resulted in my aha moment, because it really lent me a prize, and most importantly, belief in myself. And from then on, I don't think I had to tell my father to write the speeches for me when I could do that in those 15 or 17 minutes. And then I started writing my own speeches. And you know what, then you became comfortable with them because they were your thoughts. You were not mugging it up. And this is what I keep telling my students. Keep the keywords with you of what you're going to speak, but definitely let the thoughts and flow be your own. So this is what it is.
I completely agree to you, and thank you so much. It was really lovely experience once again, ma'am. And as you said, yes, you don't have to mug it up. It should go with the flow. It helps you a lot, actually. I believe in the same theory, actually. Thank you, Rita. Thank you once again. And now I request Preeti ma'am to share her message.
Thank you, Rabia. I will like to answer somebody's question here some time ago. Our authorities don't allow for humor in the class. I always tell my teachers that whenever you're going in the classroom, don't play a serious documentary film through whatever you're teaching. You have to make it interactive, make the class more interactive, do some role plays, make them speak dialogues, do debates. Automatically, like children are children. They are bound to do mistakes while whatever they speak. So like laugh with their mistakes to make them learn. And moreover, to make them listen, make them speak. Once you laugh with them on their mistakes, rather than pointing towards them on their mistakes, you will get aha moment each moment. Laugh with them on their mistakes to make them learn.
Wow, beautiful, ma'am. Very nice.
Thank
you. So
you.
nicely said. Thank you once again. Thank you so much. And now I request Prasad sir to share his message from haha to aha. Prasad sir.
I think some
technical glitches. All right, so I think we will end up this session with this, and I'm sure this session is a blockbuster for each and every one, be it an audience, be it our speakers, be it Prasad sir. And yes, this session is the aha moment for me. Believe me, for that matter, I was actually eagerly waiting for this episode. So.
Rabia,
awesome.
I would like to say one thing. वो शाहरुख खान का गाना है ना, हंसो जियो मुस्कुराओ क्या पता कल हो ना हो. मैं हमेशा बोलती हूँ कि क्या पता कल दांत ही हो ना हो और हंसी ना पाओ. तो जब तक दांत है तब तक हंसो. Otherwise बहुत बुरे दिखोगे हंसते हुए.
Right. That was so beautiful. Aha moment. You have created a aha moment now.
Preeti, you just did again a khatarnak blockbuster wala Bollywood style.
I am known for that.
Right, Bollywood style. Wonderful.
Thank you.
क्या बात है. Blockbuster session हो गया हमारा और automatically हो गया Preeti ma'am. Blockbuster movement भी.
Rabia, I'll just check with Prasad sir whether is he joining in or has.
I know. I think I've got a net problem. And I just cannot log in.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I'm very sorry. I cannot even log in my video. So
no problem, sir.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Geeta ma'am. Thank you, Ruhi ma'am.
And thank you once again to all of you for taking out so much of your precious time for today's evening for this session and making it a aha session.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Nice meeting you all on this platform.
Same here, ma'am. Same here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Keep safe, everyone. Bye-bye.
Have a good day. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
And keep laughing.
Yes.
क्या पता कल दांत हो ना हो.
Exactly.
Yes.
जब तक दांत है दांत दिखा के हंसो.
I know.
Colgate की advertisement करते रहो.
Yes, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
Colgate की advertisement, right?
Okay, all the
Thank
best,
you.
guys. Keep safe and keep smiling, keep laughing,
Yes, yes.
and keep connecting.
Yes,
Keep
definitely. That is
connecting.
important.
Important. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Bye. All the
Bye
best.
bye.